We are finally getting some direction within the women's division, and it's so good to see. We're going to talk about everything that happened within that segment and the rest of the show right here at WrestleManiac UK. This is your AEW review. What's up, Maniacs? My name is Mex. I'm a wrestling fan, a wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac, if you will. And today we are talking about AEW Dynamite. It was a pretty decent show. I mean, I know they're saving most things for the next couple of weeks. I think it's called New Year Smash, this 2-week TV special that they're going to put on. And I think this particular show came after NBA restarting a new season in America. So I think they probably weren't trying to put too much into this episode because the show was broadcasted later than usual. However, there was some good bits in here that we are going to talk about and talk about what we can expect in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. And right here at WrestleManiac UK, I discuss everything that is WWE and AEW. So if this sounds like the place for you, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notified each and every time I drop a new video, and make sure you smash that like button too. It's thoroughly appreciated. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into the review. And the show started with Top Flight versus the Inner Circle guys, Chris Jericho and MJF. Still can't even believe MJF is Inner Circle now, but we know there's a whole nother story that's going to come out of that. Top Flight, man, what can I say about these guys that I haven't already? Just super, super talented. It's just great to see this young tag team be given this opportunity, elevated to this position, take on some of the names they've taken on. And this was no different, you know, in the early goings of this match, Top Flight completely kind of dominated everything, and they were just so good, showing all their skills in their repertoire. Really took it to MJF and Chris Jericho that, you know, will prefer a slower style and try to dominate these guys. That never happened till later on in the match. However, throughout the match, what Top Flight found difficult was to get around the Joker in the pocket, which I guess is Jake Hager. He was at ringside and he was causing them all kinds of trouble, distractions and stuff like that, which eventually gave Chris Jericho and MJF the upper hand, and MJF got the win here for his team. So Top Flight, despite a losing effort, you know, it was a very, very good effort. After the match, we saw Jake Hager go ringside, collect a microphone, and he came out and said, look, it's been 2 weeks since we had our little town hall debate, discussion, whatever you want to call it, when we said, you know, is everyone on with Inner Circle or not? And everyone agreed. But right now, I can't see Wardlow. I don't know where he's been. I don't think Wardlow was around last week either. And Jake Hager said, look, I've had enough. This guy's a weirdo. This guy stares at me and all of this kind of stuff. I've spoken to Tony Khan, and next week, it's going to be myself, Jake Hager, versus Wardlow. Now, we can all kind of speak about how we think the quality of this wrestling match is going to go or going to be, but you cannot deny they have been building this kind of angle between these two for quite a while without promos or anything, just by these guys looking at each other, being similar build, having similar backgrounds or whatever. I just think it's just gonna be a fight. Like I want to see these two big ass men have a fight. So I'm looking forward to that. Like I say, we can talk about the match quality itself next week once it's happened. But I think we should be able to get something decent out of them, and it should be a good occasion. Honestly, like I am looking forward to it. So yeah, that was how that first match and segment ended. Next up, we had Tony Schiavone come out to introduce Sting. He did the whole, you know, it's Sting, and all of that kind of stuff. Sting came out, and he basically was asking Sting, you're back on TNT. You haven't said in, what, 2-3 weeks since you've been back why you're here. So why are you here? And Sting said, you know, it's a plethora of reasons. He's back in the jungle, which is TNT, and all of this kind of stuff. And then he said, you know, I've kind of bumped into Cody. I've kind of crossed paths with Darby Allin, who was up in the stands at the time. But yeah, he just said he's here on TNT to make his impact, that he was pushed or galvanized into the main event scene by Dusty Cody's dad, obviously, back in their WCW days. And obviously he sees what Cody's doing with this company right now, and he wanted to be a part of it. He was interrupted by Team Taz, who came out and said, well, yeah, cut the crap, all of this soppy stuff. And you say you're back in the jungle, but, we're all tigers and we're coming for you, and that kind of stuff. And Ricky Starks cut a short promo as well amongst that. Like, apart from Taz, Ricky Starks is the only other person allowed to talk in Team Taz. We haven't had Powerhouse Hobbs talk yet, or even say why he joined them. And all Brian Cage gets to say is, who better? So it's like, yeah, if Taz goes down, then it's all on Ricky Starks. And if he goes down, then we're never going to hear these guys speak. We'll get onto that in a second, actually. So these guys said that the Tigers, they said they're going to come down, they're going to do something to Sting. Lights went out, lights came back on. Darby Allin was now in the ring alongside Sting as these guys wanted to attack. Darby Allin had his skateboard in hand while Sting pulled out the bat from inside his coat. Team Taz thought otherwise and said, look, no, we won't do this right now, sort of thing. Brian Cage was like, I want to go right now. I want to do this thing right now. TNT Championship with Darby Allin, but I think they're holding that for 2 weeks time, 6th of January, alongside this New Year's Smash TV special they're doing. So yeah, Team Taz thought better of it, walked away in the end, and we had a little stare down between Darby Allin and Sting. Sting should be used to get Darby Allin to the next level, and Darby Allin's been given loads of great opportunities since he's been in AEW. He is the TNT Championship, the face of TNT right now, as they're calling it, as the champion. So Sting just needs to help get him up the card a bit more, build his credibility. This is who was the face of TNT to who is now the face. So I guess that's what Sting's main thing is going to be here in AEW. I think they just want to make him seem first that he's going to be here wrestling and getting involved with other people, but really and truly we know why he's here. But yeah, that was a good segment. Next up we had Jurassic Express versus Dark Order. I've got a lot of time for Jungle Boy. I've got a lot of time for Jungle Boy. I like Jurassic Express because of Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. But Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, you could just tell this guy's going to be a star. Like he's still very young, early 20s. Once he develops a bit more, maybe breaks off from this particular gimmick, he's just going to be so good. But they're managing him well, taking their time with him. This match with Dark Order, it was a pretty good match. My only one issue with it, and I'll just say now, Jurassic Express got the win in this match. My only one issue is that since Brody Lee has not left, but been away from the Dark Order have kind of went back to where they were before Brody Lee came in. They're just a bit aimless and stuff, and maybe it's on purpose. Maybe it's our leaders away sort of thing, and we're not getting it done with him absent. And maybe they can lean into that and play on it a bit more. But I just feel like through the booking, AEW haven't given Dark Order anything productive to do or anything positive in terms of results since Brody Lee's not been around. We've seen obviously the emergence of John Silver and his star grow and grow and grow, which has been brilliant. But that can surely be backed up with some wins against some dark competitors, can't it? Like, I just feel like they've kind of been forgotten about, or they're being put on the back burner while Brody Lee, recovers from his injury. But other than that, this was a pretty decent match. After the match, Marco Stunt was about to have an interview from Tony Schiavone, where he was interrupted by Tully Blanchard and FTR boys on the Titron, where they basically said, look, 6th of Jan, we're going to meet Jurassic Express in the middle of the ring, cut out all the crap, show them what tag team wrestling is about. And basically they're going to kind of reintroduce themselves to the division and try and get their tag team championships back. So yeah, interesting to see FTR. They've had a little break now. They've been on TV in this kind of promo capacity in the last couple of weeks, and they'll be back wrestling, it looks like, in about 2 weeks time. Next up, we had PAC versus The Butcher. Um, Before we get on to that, guys, if you're enjoying today's review, please make sure you smash the like button. Give us a thumbs up. It's Christmas. Do it for me. Do it for the channel. It's thoroughly appreciated each and every time you do, and it does loads for the channel. So if you're watching this and you're enjoying the review, smash the like button. Thank you very much. PAC versus The Butcher. I enjoyed this match. I thought this was really good. I think The Butcher is so good. I think he's so improved from where he was when he joined AEW with Blade. I think just their characters, his ability, he looks trimmer, he looks faster, and he's just a very good big man. Like, he's just very interesting. Like, I think they just dealt with him very well. Like, unlike the likes of Brian Cage, who hasn't been dealt with the best in my opinion. But yeah, he just put on a very good match. We had Eddie Kingston on commentary, and then PAC. Obviously, it was just great to see him. He had Penta ringside with him. There was one point in the match where Eddie Kingston was telling, I think PAC should have been put away really and truly by Butcher, and PAC kicked out of the move, and Butcher was kind of surprised, and it looked like he had a bit of a loss of confidence in the moment. Eddie Kingston was, took off the headset on commentary, was like, come on, Butch, put him away. Started trying to, looking like he's making his way to ringside to help in some capacity, when Lance Archer came out, and Eddie Kingston kind of ran back to commentary and stood behind JR, like JR was ever going to protect him from Lance Archer if it became a thing. So that was kind of funny. But the match went on. We saw, I don't know what he calls it now. This, when he was in WWE, when PAC was in WWE, I think it was called the Red Arrow or something like that. I think it might be called the Black Arrow now, but it was just that amazing spinning backflip. I don't know what to even describe it as, but the move I'm talking about that PAC does. He landed it on Butcher and got the pin. So yeah, PAC comes back with a win against the Butcher in a really good performance regardless. I guess we're building towards Lance Archer versus Eddie Kingston. Lance Archer is still kind of got this maybe not alliance going on with PAC and Penta. We're yet to see how that plays out. But yeah, I think it was a decent wrestling match. And like I said, I enjoyed it probably more than most, just because I'm just so happy with the progress that Butcher has made and just how interesting of a character he is. I didn't get Butcher and Blade before, but now, like, I'm a fan. I'm fans of their work. Next up, we had a segment where Kip Sabian, with his wife-to-be, Penelope Ford, and Miro, were going to announce the wedding date for him and Penelope Ford. This was what it was like. I mean, you guys already know how I feel about this, so I don't want to poo-poo it too much, but this is, I guess this is very sports entertainment-ish. They teased telling the date the first time, and then they hit Best Friends music and Titron, and they thought, they were acting like, oh, Best Friends are coming out, what do we do, sort of thing. But it was all a ruse, because they had actually taken out Best Friends before this segment backstage. Trent Beretta was being put on an ambulance and taken away, so Best Friends weren't even in the picture at all. It was just a joke. And then they eventually revealed the wedding date, which is going to be the 3rd of February, which is actually going to be the Beach Break. Is it a pay-per-view or a TV special again? Whatever that's going to be, but it's on a beach. So these guys are going to get married on a beach in February. So that is the big announcement. So guys, let's put down in the comments, what do we think is going to happen on that episode during their wedding? Because there's going to be something. There is absolutely going to be something that takes place. This is wrestling. So, for anyone that's seen a wrestling wedding, something happens at the wedding. So let's start speculating now what we think is going to happen at Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford's wedding down below in the comments. Next up, I really enjoyed this. Hikaru Shida versus Alex Gracia. Now, it wasn't necessarily the match that I enjoyed, but before the match, Hikaru Shida was being interviewed by Dasha Fuentes, and Dasha had asked Hikaru Shida a question, and out of nowhere, Abaddon just comes out and tries to lay out Shida, tries to start attacking her. Michael Nakazawa, I think some referees came and kind of separated it all. They hit Hikaru Shida's music. So Shida went out for her match, still kind of selling the injuries, a bit fearful of what had just happened. And she went out for her match against Alex Gracia. This was a decent match. You know, this whole segment wasn't about this match, but yeah, it was a decent kind of match when they were wrestling. As the match was going on, though, again, Shida recognized Abaddon in the crowd, pulled Abaddon over the barrier, beat her up a bit in the corner, and just left her there, just sitting in the corner like dead. I say dead, but Abaddon's whole thing is like a zombie and being dead, isn't it? So yeah, just left Abaddon beat up in the corner, got back in the ring, finished the match with a Falcon's Arrow, pinned Alex Gracia. Shida then went back down to where she left Abaddon with her kendo stick in hand and was kind of just poking at Abaddon to make sure like she was dead, sort of thing. And all of a sudden, Abaddon grabbed the kendo stick and got up, and again went back and forth with fighting Shida till she eventually took a bite out of Shida's neck. All blood and stuff all over the neck. Shida, you know, clasping her neck. I think it was really well done. And this is what I mean. This is, I think, the first real program, not just I want to fight you, you want to fight me, blah, blah, blah. The crap she did with Nyla Rose. This is the first real feud program that the champion has been in. The women's champion. And it's good. This is a good little one, you know. Shida knows she's very good in the ring. She knows she can get the job done. But now she's met an entity which she's not even sure, you know, is a human being. And she's scared. And it's like, can I overcome this thing? It's really good. And it's good to see AEW now kind of putting some focus on that particular division. Again, we saw within this division, we saw a segment with Jade Cargill backstage. Jade Cargill congratulating Brandy Rose, saying that, you know, one day you'll be a great mother like I am, and all of this kind of stuff. And now asking Brandy Rhodes, where does things go from here? You know, I wanted to face you. Or as soon as you knew I was about, you went and got pregnant, which I thought was good. But this was a question I was asking myself. Now that she's pregnant, we're never going to get this mixed tag match, at least in the short term, between Shaq, Jade Cargill, Cody. So yeah, what is next for Jade Cargill? She was asking Brandy to produce her some worthy competition, which I think is rich from someone that we haven't even seen wrestle a match before. But yeah, it's just good to see these guys are being used, and hopefully before too long we see who Jade Cargill's first match is going to be against. But yeah, I really enjoying what they're doing and trying to do within the women's division. I'm not sure when we're going to get Shida versus Abaddon, but guys, put down below in the comments who you think will come out on top in that exchange if it was for the women's championship, Shida or Abaddon. Last but not least, we have probably what was match of the night, the AEW World Tag Team Championships. What on the line? The Young Bucks versus the Acclaimed. The Young Bucks are just brilliant. I'm sorry, there's just no way to put it. And I struggle when people say these guys aren't the best tag team in the world. I know some people don't like the overly choreographed stuff and things like that. I get that. I do get that. But these guys right now, anyway, they're on the levels that I felt like they were maybe around 2016, 2017, maybe a bit before that as well. Like, they're doing some brilliant stuff, and they obviously carried this match against a younger team, but not to say the Acclaimed are rubbish. The Acclaimed are very, very good. So it's just good to see the Acclaimed be given such a highlighting opportunity. You know, I think last week, or was it the week before? It might have been last week, was their first match on Dynamite. And now they've just had their first main event match on Dynamite. So you know, they've been held in high regard. They're being used well. They were obviously not going to beat Young Bucks here, but I just think it was a really good match. It was a really good match carried by the Young Bucks. We saw loads of stuff. We saw a ref bump as well, but things didn't get too out of hand. We did see them bringing the boom box and hit Nick Jackson over the head of the boom box. We saw a low blow actually. Well, to be fair, maybe things did get a bit out of hand. Another referee came in, but yeah, by then all the shenanigans were over. Young Bucks won with a BTE trigger, pinning Max Caster, and yeah, like I said, just go and see it if you haven't seen it. Really fun, enjoyable match. Strong tag division on AEW, man, and we know this. So I think it'll be very good to see, you know, maybe I don't know how they're gonna push the top flight. Obviously, they're very young, so it might be a while before they kind of start making their way to the top of the division and challenging and all of that kind of stuff. But top flight look very, very interesting, man. That's the team to watch, in my opinion. But yeah, guys, that is the AEW review. I hope you enjoyed it. Decent episode of AEW tonight, but I do think they will probably holding some stuff back because the next 2 weeks of programming for them is going to be absolutely stacked. I can't wait to see this little TV special New Year smash that they're doing. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video, guys. It's thoroughly appreciated. And if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you get notified each and every time I drop a new video. Merry Christmas, Merry Holidays, whatever you celebrate. Happy New Year as well. We'll be back on the channel as per usual. All your videos will be here. There ain't no break happening right now anyway on WrestleManiac UK. I'm probably going to take a break sometime in January, but right now we're going to plow through all through the holidays. Loads of content coming. And yeah, you guys know every day you can catch something right here on this channel. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you